Now what we're doing is we've got a 120,000-mile Toyota here, right? Our buddy Matt just picked it up for his daughter Kaylee to go off to college. He said, hey man, look through it.
Yeah, and you know, visually inspected, there's no leaks I can see underneath it. Doesn't look too bad. Motor compartment has a little bit of dirt on it, but I don't see any valve cover gaskets or anything like that leaking. But now's the time we get to sniff around, really probe a lot, and see what's up with this truck.
Yeah, it's no different from when you go to your doctor, right? You're feeling fine or whatever, but he's poking, he's taking blood samples, right? He's going certain places, and well, we're going to go to some of those places in here. So, you know, we're going to keep our visual inspection as we dive in. I think, you know, one of the things, we're at 120K, so spark plug's usually pretty good start.
Yeah.
You can see over here the battery terminal is corroded up pretty good. So while we're going for the, you know, the tried and true maintenance items, we're just keeping our eyes out for everything, and we'll kind of test the system as we go from front to back. So
exactly.
I'm gonna start. I think I can get to some of these coils. You got a whole mess of something over there.
Gotta get a lot of this air box and filter mechanism out of the way to get to those plugs. We'll see how those look.
Out with the old, in with the new. So, you know, we all know spark plugs, right? That's the critical thing that lights everything off, makes the big bang. Well, putting a new plug in there you want to do for several reasons, right? A lot of times in the old days you just look at how much junk was built on there, carbon deposits, etc. But engines burn super clean now. In addition to that is the wear. So you got a lot of erosion. That's why the platinum, iridium and stuff, those exotic metals, they're really good wear materials. So as that spark is flying out of there, right, that tip lasts for a long time, and you keep that right gap for as long as possible, because that spark gap is really important to make sure you got ignitability when it's cold, but you also don't blow that flame out under heavy loads.
And another thing to always remember when you're changing plugs, make sure you put just a little bit of anti-seize on the threads, because ain't nobody got time for dissimilar metals. What happens is it oxidizes, sticks in there, and you got real issues trying to get it out. So a little anti-seize on there right on the plug, you'll be good to go.
All right, this is an easy one to do. You got the plugs knocked out. I mean, obviously this corrosion is never a good thing anywhere, especially on your battery. You're gonna pretty much weaken that battery. Yeah, so get some of that big stuff out of the way, and you can use several different products out there, but you wanna get that thing, look at that, turning colors, it's eating it away. Get this thing nice and clean. You can throw a little protector on top of that. Keep it from happening so fast in the future. It's gonna make your battery last longer and everything work right.
Okay, let's catch you up. We have our brand new Champion plugs in. That's gonna make it fire a little more efficiently, a little nicer. Kev's done a great job of cleaning up the negative brake terminal, had all kinds of Smurf puke on there, whatever it was. It just so happens I found a maintenance log in the glove box. Always cool to keep maintenance records along with the truck. This guy did a really thorough job. Looks like he put every time he changed the oil, did something to the truck. Always good to have these, keep these records, and also, word to the wise, keep receipts as well in case you got to battle some warranty issue and so forth. So I can tell by this, he changed the oil about 3,200 miles ago, which is great. When it comes to changing the oil in this particular Toyota, gravity's on our side. All right, the filter is actually up here, so I can take it off now. It's got a cool little reservoir catch. It just goes right down here. Now again, 120,000 miles on a Toyota truck with a 6-cylinder. I mean, that thing's just knocking the gift wrapping off this pup when you come down to it. Now, the cool thing is, I'm going to take this filter back and show you something, because anytime, regardless of how clean the internals are in the motor, there's a good chance you're going to find some particulate, a little bit of debris, some metal shavings and so forth down in this oil filter. So I'm going to do what you would consider a biopsy on this guy, cut it open and see if there's anything in that filter.
Yeah, that's great if you're looking to buy something, if you can get a hold of that filter.
Yeah.
You can see the condition of the engine. So somebody could put some new oil in there, but you may be able to pick up some of the debris if you got some big problems going on. Now, speaking of filters, we're going to drop in a Napa Gold linen white fresh filter. And, what you don't realize is for every gallon of gas that goes through this engine, there's probably 10,000 gallons of air coming through here. And you can imagine how much dirt and debris you're picking up. And it's going to be engine wear, right? It's going to be cost down the line. It's going to be money out of your pocket, and you're going to drop performance if you let that thing get too clogged up with debris and whatnot. Emissions could be affected, so it's a good thing to just knock those things out because they're easy. Now here's another filter that we always forget to replace. This is your cabin air filter. So this is the air you're breathing. So by replacing this guy, or even having one in there, you're about 6 times less dirt, debris, and dust going in there. pollens and things like that. So about every year, 12,000 miles, you should replace it with a new one. This one's from Napa. It's their EnviroShield. So pretty nice and easy way to breathe some cleaner air. Do something nice for yourself.
Yeah, man, that's filthy.
Yeah,
Dirty.
you know, leaves and debris.
Yeah. Speaking of dirty, okay, so I cut our oil filter open. A lot of people never seen this, never tried this. I really recommend it to find out really the overall health of your motor internally. So to show you exactly how a filter works, all right? So the oil gets pumped up in through here, and it's gonna wick through, in this particular filter, this paper, cardboard sort of element. So a lot of times you'll be able to look in here and kind of separate these and see a lot of, small metal shavings, a little bit of debris, some dirt, and bearing material and so forth. It's, in bad shape. This one's not too bad. A couple little pieces of metal shavings, but overall you could tell that he's kept this car pretty up as far as oil change and maintaining that. So yeah. The good thing is we're replacing it with a Napa Gold. Now, the cool thing about Napa Gold filters, these are really recommended for high mileage vehicles. So if you got over 90, 100,000 miles, definitely go with this Napa Gold filter. Another thing is for extreme climates. So if you're in a situation where you do a lot of stop and go driving, got high mileage, or you're say 90 degrees or extreme colds, this is gonna be your guy. Pick it up from Napa, it's their Gold filter. And I like to put a little bit of oil in here, sort of seat this little ring right here, screw it down there, hand tight, then we'll get it up, drain the rest of this guy out. Boom! Welcome back to Two Guys Garage. Now Kev just got done draining the oil, so I got a drain tank right here. Perfect, because we're at my favorite part, the rear end. All right, now look, we're gonna drain this pup. I'm gonna show you a pretty interesting little thing. Break that free, this drain plug going, and then we'll get some nasty old fluid out of here. Now, most people are pretty lazy about their diff fluid. And when I say lazy, I mean they never, ever, ever, ever drain it. But this stuff doesn't look really too awful bad. Like we've seen with this car, it's taken pretty good care of. But sometimes, if you're lucky, you can take a magnet, just kind of slosh around in here, and you might be able to pick up some debris, some of that, well, it's the gasket. It's always good to have that. Again, not too bad. A couple little particles, but maybe I don't know if you could see it or not. But I'll pour it in here, and you'll really be able to tell the difference in old fluid and new fluid. Okay? Now look, new stuff, old stuff. You can tell it's got a lot of usage, some heat damage to it, and so forth. We'll get some of this new fluid in here, all right? Get this thing filled up, tapped off, then I'm gonna move on to the transmission. All right, still banging away on some preventive maintenance for our 2008 Toyota Tacoma truck with 120,000 miles. Now, some engineer in 2008 decided, let's not have a dipstick and make it easy to pour fluid in. Let's come back here to the tailstock and put a plug in. Silly engineers. Great. All right, now let's talk about the transmission. There's all kinds of small, tiny components in there. Little tiny ball bearings, little spool valves that open different chambers. You've heard us reference stiction quite a few times. Diesel injectors, turbos, and then fuel systems in general. Well, Hot Shot Secret has came up with a transmission stiction eliminator. All right, so if your transmission is shifting really sluggish, not shifting at all right, it feels like it's slipping, this is the stuff. Trust me. Here's the deal. It's formulated to magnetically bond to that metal. That's going to get under the varnish and lift it away. All right, that's going to improve shifting, improve overall efficiency, and heat in the transmission. So before you go and spend $5,000, $6,000 on somebody rebuilding your transmission, drop some of this in there and watch how it improves. From Hot Shot Secrets, it's their transmission stiction eliminator. Okay. Now we're going to pump about a quart into this tailstock. Get back on this truck.
And we had a little shimmy, a little looseness in the front end of this truck. So after kind of going around all the four corners, found this ball joint up here. It's got a tear in the boot. That's going to allow a lot of dirt and debris to get in that joint and wear it out prematurely. So I'm just going to replace that guy. Now I broke that castle nut loose. Now first thing you can try is getting yourself a nice big condenser like this. There's usually a flat spot you can hit on. Try to break her loose. And I think that might have done it. And if that doesn't work, you can get a little more aggressive, with a pickle fork. And you can get in there with this guy and just pry that sucker apart and that usually does the trick, but it does tear the boot in case you got to put it back together. So with that guy loose, I can pull this assembly apart. I got some heavy duty tools. I got to go make a parts run. When we come back, put this thing back together. I got a little TPMS sensor light going off in the dash, so that's kind of throwing us for a loop. So we'll check that out, diagnose it, see what we find. Stick around. All right, so we got this new Moog ball joint up in there, and it's seated. I can feel the top up there. And this guy right here is seated right on top of that control arm. So this tool will actually take the ball joint out or put it in this case. So you just flip around how you're doing these different spacers and whatnot. So right now I drove the ball joint in from the top. I got a sleeve on the outside hitting the underside of the control arm. Now this is something you can do at home. You don't have to buy a kit like this. You know, one of these things comes with all different sizes and adapters for different ball joints and applications. You can rent one or borrow one from your local parts store if you want to go in there and do this. It's pretty simple, straightforward. So I'm going to pop this tool back off, get the new boot on there. I can put this assembly back together. This corner should be done. All right, so I've checked the tire pressure in all 4 tires. They all seem pretty good, but I've got a light on my dash that says I've got low tire pressure, TPMS system. So normally you'd go to a shop and have them check all your sensors and see if they're good, but before we do that, we got one more tire to check, the spare. So let me put a little tire pressure gauge on that guy and see what we've got. And yep, at 16 PSI, I'm thinking that's the culprit. So a little air in there. We'll go upstairs, key on, see if that light goes away. Yeah, boy, that's what I'm talking about. Simple problem, simple solution. So before you go take your car in, check your tires, all 5 maybe. So anyway, I think we got this thing just about wrapped up mechanically, but it's a little bit rough on the outside. We're gonna take it outside, put a little wash, a little wax on it, shine it up. It's a little Kaylee to go off to college in style, so stick around.
Hey guys, welcome back to Two Guys Garage. I tell you, we've been doing a heck of a preventive maintenance show on this guy. We've done everything from fluids, filters, some suspension work, tires, but I gotta tell you, the outside, the exterior, what you really look at when you see this truck is straight busted. Absolutely busted. You could hear the paint, listen to that.
Ooh, you shouldn't hear paint.
No, no.
Yeah. So what we did, we hooked up with our buddy Mike Phillips from Auto Geek. Mike put together a kit for us. We did our part of the deal. We got there and we washed it. We got our wash mitt. We used our bucket with the little grit guard in there.
Dude, that
keeps
thing's
the
awesome.
dirt down here, the clean water up here. So our end is done, Mike.
Mike.
You're here. The truck is kind of clean.
Yeah.
All right, so show us the easiest steps to make your car at home look really good and save that $500 to $800 going to some premium guy to buzz that thing
so
out.
we're going to keep this real simple. So what you did is you got the loose dirt off. Now what we have left is surface impurities, road grime, oxidation, swirls, and scratches. And to fix that, we're going to use what's called an all-in-one product. So it's going to clean, polish, and protect in one step. And that way you're not going to be out here all day going through all those many compounding, polishing steps.
It's so rough, man. It's like tectonic plates.
We're going to fix that.
All right, so I'm hooking you up with that guy.
Yep, this all comes
guy.
in the bucket. And this is the Blackfire Total Polish and Seal.
Okay.
All you're going to do is put some on your pad. And when your finish is neglected like this, you kind of want to use the product heavier wet. You want to use a lot of it. Not overuse it, but get down there and get some product on there.
Now, how hard are you pushing?
I'm just pushing firm. Part of the cleaning action of an all-in-one comes from the cleaners, the micro abrasives and the cleaning agents, but also comes from a little bit of elbow grease.
Yeah, man, I'm in for that.
Now, if you're feeling a little bit lazy, can you put a machine on and use a product like that if you want to speed it up?
Oh, yeah. This is completely, you can use it by machine or by hand.
Okay. All right, so once you've gone through this, right, we got a lot of car to do. You want to do some sections at a time?
Yeah, usually you kind of break up the car section by section. You want to hand me that microfiber towel over there. And you do section by section, work it in really good just like that, let it dry to a light haze, and I'll let you wipe it off. Tell me how easy that wipes off.
Okay, now normally this would be done, you have to do like a wax and then a sealer and a bunch of other steps, and this is, wow.
One step.
Yeah, it's already so much easier.
Oh, huge difference.
It's a lot quieter already.
Listen to that.
And look at the clarity. Now you can see the beautiful blue color coming through the clear coat.
It's pretty impressive, Mike.
And it's protected with synthetic polymers. They call them the wet diamond polymers. So you got cleaning, you got polishing, and now it's protected. She's ready to take it to school.
So when that's finished, we're done. We can go to
We're
the
done.
beach. We can
Yeah.
go get burgers.
That's it.
And
One
it's
step.
all in this bucket that you can buy the entire encapsulated kit.
Everything's in the bucket you need.
Dude,
Take
this
care
is
of it
our-
on Saturday.
This is part of the deal. We get our own 2 Guys Garage wash and wax in a bucket kit. So check it out. It comes with everything. The shampoo, the all-in-one, the detailer for quick cleaning, and then you got all the rags and everything ready to go, man. It's an Auto Geek for under 40 bucks right now. So, man, thanks for making our job his job easier. I got some other things to do. Speaking of which, we're out of time, so hope you guys enjoyed the ride.